As I was in Lionel Norris's court for Keenan Cole and Martin, St. Stephen's Shelter and I met. When they took Keenan from me, I immediately went to the Salvation Army and I tried to get a shelter bed so that I could start working on getting my adopted kid back. And as I went to Salvation Army shelter, I was feeling a type of way, so then I went to this other shelter, which was St. Stephen's over there, I believe, on Nicollet Mall, over south. And as I went to St. Stephen's shelter, that woman who was doing my application put down a 2012 date, and it was 2015. And we began to argue at that point because I told that white girl, I said, look, you put 2012, it's 2015. She said, oh. She moved that paper and we filled out another one. She didn't shred it. She didn't get rid of it. I accused her, Cora McCorvey, of trying to backdate that form to the very first time in 2012 when I was at emergency assistance, seeking emergency assistance to keep 3625 Oliver Avenue North. I said they had been trying to say I hadn't been living on Oliver since 2012 or maybe sooner. I said Abdi Warsame was now trying to remove those records with Bobby Joe Champion, Keith Ellison, as well as Michael Favors, so that they could say that I was homeless and my kids weren't being cared for appropriately. Thus, the Jeanette Cooper's residency when my kids were staying at Jeanette's house. I said that that was part of the Bobby Joe Champion, which right now I got kicked off of Facebook for talking about Bobby Joe Champion. And I said it's because of Bobby Joe Champion, where again, he made me one of his clients illegally through Joshua R. Williams, where they began to electronically sign my paperwork from a signature I told Joshua R. Williams to quit using as an electronic means to sign papers for me. Joshua R. Williams refused to quit using that electronic signature. So I said him and Bobby had been manipulating my name, starting with my housing records from 3625 Oliver. Therefore, when he went and said that Shayla and Michael didn't graduate, it would make it better, because then he could say that they had to be homeless because I was a level 2 drug user, where again, Jeanette and Michael was taking my kids in and they were doing these weird things, right? Like stealing change to get to work, right? Because their daddy didn't want to give them money to get to their job. So for me, I said Michael Cooper Sr. through Andrea Buckner was working with Bobby Joe Champion and Keith Ellison. And as Zymir Delon came to life, I asked Judge Bransford to do a DNA to see if Bobby Joe Champion was related to Zymir, because it affected how the courts was. And based on his manipulation, he got the courts to favor his decision through, again, misappropriations of records. And I wanted Bobby Joe Champion brought up on charges, and nobody seems to want to help me. I said that that committee he formed when the community action man was being investigated, and the community action man was cheating on his wife and using community action funds to pay for his girlfriend's houses and his girlfriend's cars. And they said Bobby was over that committee. And they said Keith Ellison and Barb Johnson was investigated. I said that was Bobby Joe Champion plotting on me at that point in time. And I begged Keith Ellison to help me get Bobby. But I thought maybe Keith was scared of Bobby. That's when I began to think that Keith was scared of Bobby because of the Sounds of Blackness circuit and all of the things he did with the church. And the black church was more on Bobby's side than they were Keith's side, because Bobby was Baptist. And Keith, although a Christian, I heard, was Islamic and practiced the Quran, which made it different religions for them two black men. And I said Bobby and Keith didn't get along, and Keith and Bobby were now arguing about me, my money, and between the two of them, that congressman, that senator, that state attorney turned attorney general began to misappropriate my motherfucking money, my name, my address, including my body parts, right? You misappropriated my body because you took things out of me and gave me shit I didn't ask for, like the motherfucking bars on my back, bitch.